Made possible through support from PASCO, Personal Assistance Services of Colorado, the Arc of Aurora, and Developmental Pathways. A THINK+change training.
Hey there, this is Jeff, and
I'm Petrie. We are advocates with the Arc of Aurora.
And what are we here to talk about today?
We are here to offer a THINK+change training on a specific subject today as it pertains to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So Jeff, what are we talking about today?
We're gonna go with the criminal justice system, and we're gonna go to what happens when you're a victim.
Okay, let's jump in.
So, what would you suggest happens if I'm the victim of a crime? What would I do immediately?
I think one of the first things you want to do is reach out to your law enforcement and find out if you have access to a victim advocate. That's a super important piece of support and assistance that's available to you.
And from what I've understood, there are plenty of other organizations that can provide victim advocacy outside of just the connection the law enforcement agency would make.
That's correct. Typically, or not necessarily typically, but often law enforcement will have a victim's advocate that can help support you. But then there are lots of private agencies as well that could offer advocacy, support, and assistance through those programs.
And we're in the city of Aurora, which is in Arapahoe County, and there's lots of resources for that. I'm just going to name some. We got Blue Bench, we got Gateway Domestic Violence Services, we have Project Safeguard, Asian Pacific Development Center, Servicios de la Raza, Colorado Legal Services, Angel Eyes, Colorado Crisis Services. Those are all different agencies that you can connect to find a victim advocate. So what kind of support would a victim advocate give you? Well, there's a lot of trauma and stress involved with being the victim of a crime.
Absolutely.
So they provide that support to victims and their families during this chaotic or traumatic time. They help out with resources, and they can help assess your situation and find the best resources or assistance that can be provided. As a victim, there's a lot of emotional needs, and with all the deputies, investigators, emergency personnel performing their duties, they can kind of act as a liaison in between you and those services.
Absolutely, and really that role is to help reduce some of that stress and anxiety, and help shield you from the traumatic experience that you've already been through. To have to kind of relive it in court is just as traumatizing often for people, and so they're there to kind of help manage that, help you navigate that piece, in hopes of making sure that you're able to get through the experience supported and in a healthy way.
So if you're the victim of a crime, you really need to reach out for a victim advocate if you don't have one already. But I would say from that moment you have contact with law enforcement, I would reach out for that victim advocate right away. And be careful, be cautious of your relationship with the victim advocate. Make sure that your conversations are going to be confidential. I would establish that right away with the victim advocate you have.
That's right. Always ask, because if they are a law enforcement victim advocate, that conversation may not be privileged. So that's a good point. You really want to find out whether or not your conversations are going to be confidential.
Okay. Once again, I just want to push this. If you are the victim of a crime, reach out to an advocate.
Absolutely.
It's going to be very stressful to go through that, and you don't have to go through it by yourself.
So let's talk a little bit too now about what it's like to be in a courtroom when you are the victim of a crime. Just some things to remember. You may very well be in the presence of the person who perpetrated the crime against you. That can be very frightening. It can be intimidating. But that, again, is why you have this victim advocate to help you with that. But you do have to kind of prepare yourself to answer some difficult questions. You'll be answering these questions in front of a lot of people that you don't know. So just know that you can take your time. Don't worry about any kind of emotional response that you have. That's completely normal. And if you are, on the stand or just even speaking in front of the judge, you have every right to take a break, Take a time out if you need it, just to kind of gather yourself again. So just know that everybody else who's in that room probably is aware of how stressful this is for you. And you just do what you need to do to get yourself through that.
Great. Thanks for that information.
Yeah.
So I know personally, if I'm ever the victim of a crime, which
I hope you're not.
I hope I'm not, but I definitely would use that resource because that's something everybody could use.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And real quick, too, if you're having trouble connecting to one of these victim advocates, reach out to someone on your support team and let them know you want a victim advocate, and we'll make sure, or the team will make sure that that happens.
That's right. And if you even have trouble with that, you can take a step further, reach out to any of your local ARCs, and we are always happy to share that information with you.
Great.
Okay. I think we've covered this one for now. Yes?
Thanks. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for being with us. There will be more to come, so stay tuned.